Welcome guys! It's finally time to take an in-depth look at the recoil pattern behavior of the 4 different submachine guns currently in the game. We will look into the following: recoil comparison with and without attachments for all SMGs, recoil comparison between all SMGs using 25 bullets, the attachments used for all weapons when applicable are the compensator, vertical grip and a stock. And all tests are done while aiming down sights. The first weapon is the Vector, and we're starting without any attachments apart from the extended mag, which does not affect recoil. Looking at the recoil pattern, we can see that we have a tight spread in the first 8 to 10 bullets, but the spray becomes inconsistent during continued spray. But let's try with full attachments and see how that affects the recoil pattern of the Vector. Very noticeably, we have less recoil, but the inconsistency in the last part of the spray remains despite having fully attached the weapon. Comparing both patterns, we see a 50% reduction in vertical recoil. However, if you choose to fire a full magazine, you will get some issues with recoil inconsistency here. Next up is the UMP9, first without any attachments. We here see one of the strongest traits of the UMP9, a highly consistent spread between the bullets and a relatively low horizontal recoil. And now let's try with full attachments. So we absolutely have a low vertical recoil here, and the weapon is still consistent, but even with full attachments you can get unlucky with your horizontal recoil. When comparing the two patterns, we again see a near 50% reduction in vertical recoil, however not really any noticeable reduction in horizontal recoil. Now let's try the Micro UC without attachments. Interestingly, the recoil is highly accelerating and there is an extremely low spread in the first 8 to 10 bullets compared to the last. And now with full attachments. And check out this super low recoil. There is an extremely low spread between the bullets and the recoil acceleration almost disappears when using attachments, thereby making it much easier to control in practice. Comparing the two patterns, we see a big improvement using attachments with the Micro UC. This is the lowest recoil of any fully automatic weapon in the game. And now the Tommy gun, first without any attachments. So I think it's safe to say that the Tommy gun has a ridiculously high vertical recoil, but it does however have a low horizontal recoil. So let's try with the vertical grip and see how that affects the vertical recoil. For some reason there is barely any difference when using the vertical grip with the Tommy gun, which clearly shows when doing the comparison with and without attachments. And when comparing the recoil of all weapons using the first 25 bullets, we see that the Micro UC has a crazy small recoil pattern. Combine this with a super high rate of fire, I'd say the UC is a beast. The UMP9 and the Vector has similar vertical recoil, however the UMP9 is more consistent and much easier to control than the Vector because of the lower rate of fire. The Vector on the other hand has a high rate of fire and can burst 8 to 10 bullets with high accuracy. And the Tommy gun is honestly just a joke compared to the other weapons in its class. I've always liked using the UMP9 and the Vector, but I'll definitely be using the Micro UC after testing this. If at all, I can get used to the iron sights. Now that's all I had for you guys in this video. I hope you liked it, as manually marking about 1500 bullet marks certainly did take some time. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time.